Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston, and today I'm back for episode number 18 of my Dallas Cowboys franchise series here. And today we're back with the Super Bowl in season number 2, and this is a matchup we saw just a couple nights ago in the NFL. It's going to be Dallas versus Houston facing off in Super Bowl 54, and this is our first trip to the Super Bowl as head coach of the Cowboys. We've got a number of player upgrades to get to before we get into this game, as we want to make sure we are maximizing what we can out of this roster for the biggest game of the year, taking a look at how the conference championship games played out. And remember, we had the dramatic win over LA with the walk-off safety that happened, a sack of Jared Goff in the end zone by DeMarcus Lawrence in overtime that sent us all the way to the Super Bowl. And we're taking a look at Houston's roster, more or less the same as what it is in real life. They had a couple additions. Tyrod Taylor's a backup quarterback now. They drafted Darius Slayton. They had a pretty good rookie class, I noticed, it looked like. But they were a good team last year. They won the Super Bowl last year, and now they've made it back, this time to a rainy Miami, Florida. As you can see, they're doing the fireworks in the rain. That doesn't make too much sense, but here we go. Dallas taking the field, and they are rocking the white jerseys as usual. Houston going to be in their navy blue tops with the white pants, and Dallas in the white and silver as usual, as we're getting ready. Super Bowl 54 from Hard Rock Cafe Stadium here in Miami, and this time it's Houston taking the field from one of the end zones here, and they are getting excited to try and repeat as Super Bowl champions. They topped Kansas City by 3 points in the AFC Championship, and they topped the Bears last year when it was Deshaun Watson taking home the Super Bowl MVP. Here is Bill O'Brien, 8 career playoff wins now, and he is ready to do this. I thought this was funny in the Super Bowl presentation. They actually show the coin toss, but you still can't do it. It's still automated based on your preferences that you set in the advanced settings in the pregame screen, and so that was just all for show right there, but we end up kicking off, and it's Chris Jones setting this one deep, getting Super Bowl 54 underway from Miami. And here is Deshaun Watson taking the field, over 4,000 yards in the air this year, and we know he's a threat to take off and run with his legs as well, and he is no stranger to the big stage. 2 national championship game appearances in college, and now 2 Super Bowl appearances in his first 3 NFL seasons. So here he goes, handing the ball off to start this game to Lamar Miller. Now he goes over the middle, and it's his biggest threat, DeAndre Hopkins, his biggest weapon, I should say, making the grab as we take a look at their starting offense. The offensive line, probably the weak point for them, but they've got a couple solid players in there. Zachary Fulton, of note, as one of their guards, and they have some good skill position players as well. And our defense returning a healthy unit as we were last week, and we are ready to go for this big matchup. This is going to be one of the tougher offenses we have faced all year, but we handled Atlanta and the Rams so far, so we're thinking we can handle Houston as well. Here's Watson moving to his right a little bit, and he is going to take off. DeMarcus Lawrence chasing him, does not get the feet there. It's Khaliki Hudson bringing him down, but Watson getting inside the 15, almost down to the 10-yard line. A couple of plays later, it's 3rd and 6, however, and Watson just throws this one away. So the Texans are unable to get 6 out of this drive, and will have to settle for the field goal. They take a 3-0 lead here early in this game, and it is Dak Prescott and the Cowboy offense out on the field now. Elliott getting the handoff there. That would set up a 3rd and 3. First, we'll take a look at the Houston defense. They run that 3-4. They got J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney as their 2 best pass rushers. Whitney Merciless also pretty good, and their secondary not bad either with Tyrann Mathieu. Here we go, 3rd and 3. Empty set for Prescott. He's going to scramble to the right. Houston in man-to-man coverage, which means a lot of open field for Prescott. He's going to take off for a big gain. Give him 28 yards on that run, and that is going to set up the Cowboys in field goal range. And we're progressing further into Houston territory, as that's Kelvin Harmon getting a nice catch and run right there for a first down. Here's Elliott making a man miss, finally getting loose, and he is in for the touchdown. The first time we've gotten Elliott loose so far today, and he converts for the touchdown. A nice little touchdown run right there, getting to the outside and using the speed to give the Cowboys an early 7-3 lead. Now Watson on the next drive for Houston. Nowhere to go with it, and that is going to go down as a coverage sack for DeMarcus Lawrence. A couple plays later, it's 3rd and very long for Watson. He's going to fire kind of short. Fuller hangs on, and Awuzie hits him down, so it's going to be a punt away for the Texans, and it's that man again, John Brown. We've seen him in the return game be a weapon so far in this postseason for Dallas, and he has a nice little return right there, setting us up at the 45-yard line, looking to add on to our lead. It's Elliott trying to get him going. 5 carries for 37 yards now for Ezekiel Elliott. The next play is a 2nd and 2 from the 47. Prescott over the middle, and that is somehow hung on to by Caden Smith, and tack on 15 more, because that's going to be a roughing the passer call and it would actually be half the distance to the goal line, so only add on 12 to that play, but a very impressive catch, kind of a risky throw almost by Prescott into that tight window, and then Jalen Smith coming open in the end zone on the play from the goal line. It was a third down, but Smith came free, and we got our second touchdown of the game on the extra point. However, you know I don't show these unless something happens. It does get blocked, so that's going to keep it at 13-3, and it's a 10-point game, not an 11-point game. So Houston trying to change the momentum a little bit. They are back on offense. 2nd and 10, little dump off to Miller, doesn't go for much, and worse than that, it's going to be holding on the offense. That sets up 3rd and pretty long here, 3rd and 14, a couple plays later from the 21, and that ball a little bit airmailed. It looks like Miller had a step, but there were a couple Cowboys around him, so a little bit of a tough throw for Watson there. And then John Brown giving him another opportunity, and he gets right back to around the 44, 45-yard line where he was last time when he got brought down. So more good field position for the Cowboys late in this first quarter, and it's Elliott getting the carry right there, going up the middle, gains 7. A couple plays later, it's 3rd and 6. We saw this a couple games ago. We're seeing it again, a little 3v2 matchup on the same exact play, where I see that the defense is going to be in zone coverage, so I know someone's going to be open. Eventually, it's Jalen Smith coming open in the soft spot. Last time we fired it quickly to Harmon, who was all the way on the inside. Smith was the middleman in that 3-receiver set on the left. And there we go, Prescott fumbling. We saw that in the NFC Championship game quite a bit. This time, luckily, we recovered it. Sets up 3rd and very long, though. Prescott just going to take off, dives forward there, but he needed every yard he could get because this is going to barely get us into Brett Maher's range for a potential field goal, and he is going to shank this one to the left. That is no good, an ugly kick from Brett Maher. Keeps this game 13-3. Remember, conditions not the best here in Miami. It is a rainy night, rainy evening here in Miami, and that is going to give the Texans the ball with pretty good field position. So Watson getting a first down pass right there. Now 2nd and 6. He tries to go play action, but Jalen Smith blows that one up and brings Watson down. So 3rd and 16 coming up from the 48, and Watson kind of throws this one up. Fuller looks like he came down with it, but he's going to be well short of the first down marker. So now Houston trying a field goal here. It's Fairbairn, their kicker, from 59 yards, and this is well short. Don't know why Bill O'Brien decided to send out his field goal unit there. He was pretty desperate for points, it seemed, but this is going to give us exceptional field position. 1st and 10 from the Houston 49, and it's Allen Hurns coming open underneath. He's going to get some yards after the catch and get a first down. And now next play, I should say, from the 37, 1st and 10. Prescott going play action, tons of time, finally fires it, and it's Kelvin Harmon wide open against this Houston zone. Prescott with tons of time there, and against the zone, you know someone's going to come open when you have that much time to pass. 1st and 10 now. Prescott looking over the middle, and it's John Brown. So a quick strike 3-play drive, and that takes us into the end zone. We take advantage of the missed field goal from Houston, and we get a 3-play 51-yard drive that results in a John Brown touchdown. And fitting that John Brown ends up getting a touchdown in the Super Bowl in what could be his only year in Dallas. He has certainly been a valuable piece to our team this year, and like I said, deserving of that touchdown in the Super Bowl. Now the defense, it's Tyrone Crawford. He's deserving of a sack in the Super Bowl. How about that? Because he's going to sack Watson there on the play action fake. Now another play action on 2nd and 19. That one, he had a man over the middle, but it was Jalen Smith in coverage. Very nice play by him. Sean Lee a little banged up. He would be back, but he's going to be sitting out the next few series. He will come back in this game, however. 3rd and 19, Watson firing across his, well, not quite across his body, but to the other side of the field. And Xavier Woods almost picked that one off. So not a good drive for Watson right there. But this is a good punt by the Houston punter. This could stagnate our offense a little bit, having to deal all the way from our inside our own 10-yard line. It's 3rd and 9 from the 5. Look at Prescott, comfortable in the pocket in his own end zone, and he finds Jalen Smith coming open in the zone. Prescott's having a very good game so far, 9 of 10 for 134 yards and a touchdown. He fires a contested ball to Smith here on another 3rd down. This one falls incomplete, so we are going to punt it away to Houston. They get the ball with a chance to get some more points on the board before the 2-minute warning. Remember, we're going to receive that second half kickoff, so this is a big spot for Houston. A couple plays after that completion, it's 2nd and 5. Less than a minute to go. Watson firing to Hopkins, and Hopkins really been, him and Fuller kind of been the only guys to get it going in the receiving game for Houston so far. Fuller a little bit, but Hopkins has been making some impressive catches. That was a costly sack as Houston has to take their second timeout. So it's 2nd and 15, 50 seconds left. Watson tries to move up in the pocket, hits Ryan Grant, but Grant can't hang on. Good coverage by Jordan Lewis, who knocked that one free. So 3rd and 15 now from the 36, 45 seconds to play, and Watson just fires it short to Miller. That's not going to be good for the first down, but does get them into much more comfortable field goal range for Fairbairn. And Fairbairn's kick from 41 yards out is up and good. That is going to take us to the half. So it's a 20-6 game. Dallas probably playing their best game of the playoffs so far, certainly controlling it more than we controlled the LA and the Atlanta games. Those were much more competitive right off the rip. This game we kind of controlled early, and we've made Houston play from behind. Watson has not been spectacular by any means, and he's probably the biggest. If he gets it going, especially with his feet, he could be maybe the biggest threat to our defense. He's something that we haven't seen in these playoffs, and a mobile quarterback who can make things happen outside of the pocket. Here's a 3rd and inches. We trust Rod Smith to get the first down there. Remember, Bo Scarborough is out with those broken ribs, so it's Rod Smith getting most of the backup halfback carries, and there's Ezekiel Elliott stepping out of bounds there. So a 3rd and 2 coming up from the 45, and it's Elliott getting the first down, really defaulting to the run game here a lot to open the second half, trying to control the clock, slow the game down, and just simply not turn the ball over. I mean, I know Prescott, and myself specifically using Prescott, is prone to turn the ball over, and that would be, this would just be a particularly bad time for you. You don't want to change the momentum, give Houston a short field the way our defense has been playing. So I end up having to settle for the punt on that drive. And not a very good one by Chris Jones, goes into the end zone. So Houston gets the ball at the 20, but Robert Quinn getting involved in the action. A couple plays later, it's 3rd and 20, and this is going to be a tough play for Watson. He's just going to dump it off short as he felt the pocket start to collapse there, and that is going to set up another punt away for Houston. So again, their offense continuing to struggle, and then Elliott getting to the outside. And when he gets it to the outside, he's a bad man, and he's got a huge run right there. Give him 31 yards. He's got 97 on the day now, 15 carries, as it's Prescott firing short to Caden Smith. That is going to go for a completion, a short one at that. 2nd and 10. We're going back to the run game. Prescott in the second half also not that great. Remember, he was 9 of 10, but after that completion to Smith, he just up to 11 of 18. So he kind of struggled a little bit as the game wore on, and we're definitely going run heavy in this 3rd quarter. That was J.D. McKissick getting the handoff on 3rd down that time out of the shotgun. He gets the first down, but a couple plays later, 3rd and 12. That's a big sack for Justin Reed, the 2nd-year safety out of Stanford, and that is going to set up a field goal attempt for Maher. But this is a big kick because this puts us up by 3 possessions, 17-point game with just 1 minute left in this 3rd quarter. So Houston has a tall mountain to climb in front of them. It's Lamar Miller trying to get things going with the running game. Now 3rd and 1. They go to Devontae Foreman, and that is going to be no good. So 4th down, they would punt it away. A little bit surprised to see them punt it away. 3-score game, not a ton of time left. They kind of need the ball back. But look at this, an interception for J.J. Watt, and it's a pick 6. And I said we couldn't afford a turnover. That was the worst kind of turnover. Prescott got hit as he tried to get rid of it, and the ball just fell right into J.J. Watt's hands. You saw on the replay right there. And I said it was fitting John Brown got a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I guess J.J. Watt also fitting of a Super Bowl touchdown, because he has certainly been a legend in the game during his career. But here is Ezekiel Elliott getting that pass on 3rd down out of the backfield. That's good for a first down. We've got the ball back on offense. We know we are not in trouble yet. It's still a 2-score game, and we have confidence we can keep establishing this run game, keep controlling the ball, controlling the clock, and I'm not too worried about it quite yet. Prescott firing deep over the middle, and it's Caden Smith cutting in front of Tyrann Mathieu and hauling that one in. An impressive catch by the rookie tight end. And here we go. It's Blake Jarwin this time, wide open. We had the 5 wide receiver set. Houston sent the blitz. Prescott diagnosed that quickly, and Jarwin for the 2nd straight week finds the end zone. This puts us back up by 17. Back in control of this game. 3rd and 6. That ball's jarred loose. 4th and 6 coming up for Houston. Now they're going to go for it on 4th down. They have to at this point. Watson firing deep, and he overshoots his man. DeAndre Hopkins had a step, but Watson could not hit him. And now it's Prescott as we get the ball back in good field position. We don't even get a single first down, so we're going to settle for another field goal. And Maher going to be 2 for 3 on the day now after that make, putting us up by a full 20. So now another 4th down chance for Houston. Remember, they're going to stay aggressive. They have to at this point. This time, Watson doesn't miss Hopkins, and Hopkins gets free. It's enough, and DeAndre Hopkins is getting Houston back in this game, and you can see he's doing the 4-9. He's just breaking away, trying to chip away at this lead. It's a 13-point game now. An onside attempt with 4 minutes to go for Houston, and it is going to be recovered by Jalen Smith. So we've got the ball back on 3rd and 5. Prescott completely misfiring on his receiver out to the left. From the 37-yard line now, here is a long field goal attempt, but it's blocked. A huge block for Houston, their second block of the day. And it's the third overall miss for Maher as he has struggled in this Super Bowl. But now Watson in the offense back out, and it's DeMarcus Lawrence with another sack. He's having a big game when it counts the most. Another big fourth down for Houston right at the 2-minute warning. And there is Will Fuller coming open on play action. He's brought down by Kaliki Hudson. And Shaolin coming off the field again with an injury. But again, he will be back later in this game, just a little banged up. Here is Hopkins coming open. He continues to have a monster game in the Super Bowl. He's far and away been Watson's biggest weapon. Him and Fuller really been doing the duty, as here is Fuller getting the grab for the first down in this Houston offense, driving down the field. Only a minute 10 left in this game, though, so they got to score and score soon. Look at this play by Watson, though. Look at that. I mean, just firing it across the field to Ryan Grant. And just like that, it's a one-score game, 33-27, but Houston needs this onside. They do have 3 timeouts, but an onside here would be huge, and it is recovered. Kelvin Harmon, another rookie receiver, making the play. Last time it was Jalen Smith recovering. This time it's Kelvin Harmon. And one first down ends this game. Elliott and the Cowboys can start winding that clock, because with just 1 timeout left for Houston, there is nothing they can do to get this ball back. Dallas is going to close out a Super Bowl championship in just Kellen Moore's second year as head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. It is the Dallas Cowboys returning to football superiority, as they are on top of the NFL world once again for the first time since Super Bowl 30, which was 24 years ago. The 1995 season, the last that the Cowboys were champions of the NFL, but they are atop the NFL world, as I said, once again. And I'm throwing the stats in the bottom right because I wanted to show all of these little post-game screens and all the celebration on the field and everything. But Super Bowl MVP is going to be Ezekiel Elliott. I thought Prescott could take it away from him, but Prescott kind of struggled in that second half, and Elliott really closed out the game for us. Hopkins probably would have been it if Houston had won. He had 150 yards. But Watson was also having a good game. Watt had a big game for the Dallas defense, but our defense stepped up. Lawrence, Crawford, Jalen Smith, really our entire defense played well, even though at the end, I know Houston got some points up, but when you think about it, one of those was a pick 6. So, and a lot of it, quite honestly, was garbage time. But there you go, some pretty prominent players there grabbing the Super Bowl trophy on center stage here in Miami. We've got Elliott, Prescott, Jalen Smith, and I think that's Allen Hurns there on the right. But anyway, there you have it, Super Bowl champions. That is going to do it. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you guys are excited for the offseason. I want to continue this series, go a couple more seasons. I might change up the format of how the next, or how I play the regular season games in the next couple seasons, switch it up a little bit. But I definitely want to keep going, keep drafting, and trying to develop this team into a dynasty like the Cowboys were in the 90s, and return to that kind of Cowboy football. So that's going to do it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thanks for watching. So I'm out. Peace.